Batting fifth in right field, number 33, Nick Swisher. Number 33. Batting sixth and catching for the Yankees, number 20, Jorge Posada. Number 20. Batting seventh at second base, number 24, Robinson Cano. Number 24.
It's time for Yankees baseball on My Nine.
Well, that's not a pennant flag yet, but with a 9-game lead and already 89 wins matching last year's total, it looks like a pretty good bet for 2009 at the new Yankee Stadium. Fans are headed to the ballpark, looking to see the Yankees against the Rays and hoping that Derek Jeter can pick up 4 more hits and stand atop the Yankees hit leaderboard. As tonight, My Nine presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the third game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Good to be back with you. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees swept a doubleheader yesterday, 4-1 in the first game and 11-1 in the second game, but everybody was talking about the fact that Derek Jeter didn't pick up a hit. He was 0 for 8 with a walk. But you know Derek Jeter, it really didn't matter to him.
It's kind of hard to be frustrated when we're winning by a lot of runs. It's not the first time I've gone a game not gotten a hit or gone a day and not gotten a hit. So come back and play tomorrow. Like I said, at this point in the season, the most important thing is for us to continue playing well.
John, you played with him, you played against him. That's vintage Jeter.
Yeah, no surprise there. You figure he was going to be very, very vanilla with the media, and that's the way he is. Not concerned about the hits. Obviously, he wants to get it out of the way. The most important thing, the Yankees swept the doubleheader yesterday.
And one of the reasons they played so well in the second game and had that many runs is that Mark Teixeira just exploded in a little bit of a slump, but not in that second game.
No, he didn't. And Derek Jeter got all the attention yesterday. Mark Teixeira, who was vying for an MVP in the American League, had a big second game. Home run number 34, straightaway center field, a 3-run shot, and then he followed it up with number 35 into the Yankee bullpen in right center. Kind of had a slow first game, had one hit, picked up 3 hits in the second game, a couple of home runs.
Tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. David Price will go for the Rays, 7-7, 4.75. Chad Godin will get the start for the Yankees, 5-10, with a 4.98 ERA. Well, John just mentioned the MVP battle. Obviously, Mark Teixeira's in the conversation, and so is the Minnesota Twins catcher, Joe Mauer. And then, of course, there's Derek Jeter. We'll break it down next with first-time caller, long-time listener, John Flaherty. Well, on a cloudy, overcast evening, there's going to be baseball at Yankee Stadium. Fans filing in for the Yankees and the Rays. Game 3 of 4 between these two teams. Now, the big debate on talk radio and in the newspapers is about the American League MVP. Is it Mark Teixeira? You see his numbers. Derek Jeter, you see his numbers. And Joe Mauer, 369, 26 homers, and 82 runs batted in. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Yankees Baseball. That's John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. It makes for great talk radio, so John from Pearl River, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Derek Jeter is a sentimental pick. Everybody wants to see him possibly get an MVP. I think he's had a great all-around year. The batting average up there. Defensively, he's been better stealing bases. It's hard to argue about the other two. The power numbers for Mark Teixeira, the RBIs, Joe Mauer being a catcher, hitting close to 370. You have a great argument for all of them. I believe people around here, Yankee fans, want to see Derek Jeter get this award.
Almost like a Lifetime Achievement Award, right?
Exactly. For what he's done in the past. And like I said, I just think he's played a better defense this year at shortstop. He's stealing more bases. A great all-around year.
I think if you ask Derek Jeter, he'd take another World Series. We'll see how it works out. Lineups, first pitch baseball coming up next on My 9.
Oh, my.
Because she's out there. She's looking at the flag. She's very patriotic. New York Yankees baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. Men's Warehouse, you're going to like the way you look. And by TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. Well, the crowd's still filing into Yankee Stadium. The Yankees have taken the field, and let's take a look before Chad Godin takes the mound what the lineup he's going to face looks like. Tampa Bay Rays starting lineup is brought to you by Burger King. Get delicious 2 for $4 King deals every day of the week at Burger King. Jason Bartlett, the shortstop, will lead off. Batting second and playing left field is Carl Crawford. Evan Longoria, the third baseman, will bat third. 5 homers in 12 games against the Yanks this year. Ben Zobrist in center field will clean up, batting fifth and DHing Pat Burrell. Chris Richard, who's been in the minor leagues for 5 years, he's 35 years old. He'll be the first baseman. He'll bat sixth. He'll be filling in a lot for Carlos Pena, who's out for the year. Greg Zahn will catch and bat seventh, batting eighth and playing right field. Gabe Gross and Akinori Iwamura is going to bat ninth and play second base.
The Rays lineup is going to face Chad Godin. We'll look at the numbers. It'll be his 27th game, 5-10 record, an ERA just under 5. Take a look at our New York pitcher scouting report brought to you by Chase. Now with over 14,000 ATMs nationwide. Chase, what matters. The Yankees are hoping for 5 and fly. They would sign up for that right now, and he has a much improved slider since he's become a New York Yankee. And the Rays are some familiar foes. He was a 34th round draft pick of the Rays in 2001. Came up through their minor league system. Now gets a chance to start against them tonight.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Chad Godin. In the outfield, you've got Damon, Cabrera, and Swisher. That's left to right. In the infield, A-Rod, Hairston, Cano, and Teixeira. Hairston's first start at short this season. Posada's behind the plate, and Chad Godin is on the mound. New York Yankees baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. So the Yankees won both games of the day-night doubleheader yesterday. They continue to play great baseball here at Yankee Stadium. They also have 89 wins, which matches their total from all of last year, and looking to become the first team in the big leagues to win 90. So that's what's on the line. And of course, Jeter's hits. Bartlett's ready, Godin is ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx. And the first pitch is up and inside, and we're underway.
The Yankees had a long day yesterday, took both games of the day-night doubleheader, had optional BP today. A lot of players out there hitting before the game.
And there's a strike.
Take a look at a scouting report on Jason Bartlett. He was the MVP of last year's team that went to the World Series. He's even better in 09, 12 home runs, 59 RBIs. And he went to the University of Oklahoma, so he might have some Sooner sorrow with their quarterback Sam Bradford being hurt last weekend. Good slider. I talked about it in the scouting report. It's been a lot better for Chad Godin since he came over to the New York Yankees. Right away, Dave Island saw something with that slider, made a nice little adjustment. It's really become a much better pitch.
And the 1-2. He struck him out. You were talking about this earlier, John. He's got good stuff, and it seems like he'll run into trouble every now and then.
Yeah, he seems to me like a classic reliever, a guy who could give you maybe a power inning or two. You see the fastball right by Jason Bartlett. And sometimes when you stretch a guy out to maybe 3 or 4 innings as a starting pitcher, the stuff goes down a little bit, has a tough time going through a lineup twice, maybe 3 times. But he'll be an interesting piece come the end of September into the playoffs, where he's going to fit on that roster.
Here's Carl Crawford, 0 for his last 19. And that one is driven to left center field. Giving chase, Johnny Damon and Melky Cabrera. And Damon can't make the play. It's off his glove. Crawford round second. He's going to go to third. And that's where he'll stay with a triple. Johnny Damon just lounging on the left field wall right now, thinking about the one that got away.
Johnny showing some frustration. Carl Crawford, first pitch swinging. This ball looked like it carried a little bit, maybe surprised Johnny Damon right off of his glove. A play that he feels he should have made on the run right at the beginning of the warning track. They're going to rule that a hit and a triple, but a play, if you ask Johnny Damon, he'll say that he probably should have made.
Wasn't in the pocket, but it did go off the tip. Most players think if they get their glove on the ball, they should be able to catch it. Here's Evan Longoria. Ground ball to third. They're going to try to score Crawford. A-Rod makes a nice play, gets him in a rundown. And now Posada will go the other way, and he's going to be tagged out by Hairston, and that allows Longoria to go to second. Good play by Alex Rodriguez.
A good play by Alex Rodriguez. Bad base running by Carl Crawford. It's a 2-hopper right at Alex Rodriguez. A play is in front of him, and an easy play. You just get Carl Crawford in a rundown. The only good thing Carl did was stay in that rundown long enough for Longoria to get to second base in scoring position. See the frustration on Carl Crawford's face. 2-hopper routine play. It's right in front of Alex Rodriguez. No brainer. Get Crawford running to Posada. Posada back to Hairston. Applies the tag.
It scored 5-2-6. The put out at home plate. And here's Ben Zobrist. And there's a strike. Crawford hesitated, and he should have just stayed there at third and then decided to head to home. And Alex Rodriguez did the right thing and ran toward him rather than throw right to home. Then Crawford could have scampered back to third. 0-2.
Godin showing some good movement to Zobrist. Good sinking fastball the first pitch, a nice changeup the second. Everything moving down and away. Early indications, looks like he has pretty good stuff tonight.
Check swing. Did he go? No, said Jim Wolf.
Nice block by Jorge Posada. Classic. Put your glove down first. The rest of your body, the chest protector, will follow. Applies the tag just in case you get a strike called 3 or strike 3 called.
And the 1-2. He struck him out, so he survives the triple by Crawford. 10-pitch inning for Chad Godin. No runs a hit, no errors. One man left. That rundown was big. Good play by A-Rod. Derek Jeter's going to lead off. The DH will try to get one of those 4 hits. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Tampa Bay doesn't score in the top of the first. Let's take a look at the New York Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you by TD Bank, America's most convenient bank. We know Derek Jeter's going to lead off. What you might not have known is he's the DH. Johnny Damon in left field will bat second. Batting third and playing first, Mark Teixeira. Alex Rodriguez, the third baseman, is going to clean up. He's been red hot in his last 8 games. Nick Swisher's in right field. Jorge Posada will catch. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Batting 8th and playing center field, Melky Cabrera, and Jerry Hairston Jr., the shortstop, will bat 9th. So Derek Jeter prepares to come up to the plate, and then we'll let Bob Shepard introduce him. I guess they had Bob introduce him early. But as we tell you, Bob Shepard is the one that introduces, and Mom and Dad are rooting him on. Greg Zahn has a couple of words to say. And Jeter's ready. 0 for 8 yesterday with a walk. As a designated hitter, Jeter has had 13 games in his career as a DH, 16 for 53, a .302 average with 2 home runs.
So it's below his career average.
317 is his career average. He's 3 behind Lou Gehrig. Swings at the first pitch. 0-1. And the count 0-2.
Good changeup from Price. We know about his fastball, highly touted prospect. Goes in the mid-90s. Second best pitch will be his changeup, and then he has a slider. Still a work in progress.
Price 7-7, 4.75. Strike 3, and Jeter's down looking. So Jeter, hitless in his last 9 at bats. His longest streak of the year is 0 for 10.
Good fastball, pretty much right down the middle of the plate. Caught Derek Jeter maybe guessing a little bit for an off-speed pitch.
There's a strike to Johnny Damon.
Take a look at the numbers on David Price. ERA a little bit high, 98 hits and 96 2/3 innings. Take a look at our Rays pitcher scouting report brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Early indications, he'll show you right first inning. Looks like he has pretty good stuff.
Broken bat, tapped right back to Price. And he foolishly underhands the ball, and Johnny Damon almost beat it out.
And he's had some pitch count issues in the past because when he comes out of the pen, doesn't have great control, and the pitch count rises very quickly. And he's a fly ball pitcher, 11 fly ball outs in his last outing against Boston, only 3 on the ground. So the jet stream here at the new Yankee Stadium could come into play tonight.
There's a strike.
Unusual mechanics, Michael. When you watch him, he puts his hands, both the glove hand and the throwing hand, way over his head, has a little short step over the mound. Good fastball, 94 miles an hour, but a lot of movement in that delivery. You wonder if at some point they might shorten it a little bit. See the hands and the glove all the way over, a short step. A lot going on before he actually loads on his back leg and delivers. And it's always a fine line with a young prospect. How much does a pitching coach actually change things? You kind of let him get his feet wet. Jim Hickey will be the pitching coach for the Rays. Kind of let him, the young lefty, figure it out at the big league level.
And the count is full, 3-2. Tonight's closed captioning is brought to you by your local Lexus dealers. Grounded to short. Bartlett. And that'll do it. So Price works a 1-2-3 first inning against the Yankees. We played one here in the Bronx. There's no score between the Yankees and the Rays. You're watching My Nine. Fans become part of the winning team by joining the New York Yankees Fan Club. For just $35, you'll receive an official membership card, a New York Yankees inaugural season baseball, special ticket discounts, and other exclusive fan club items. To join, call 1-800-GO-YANKS or log on to Yankees.com today. The New York Yankees and Ed Randall's Bat for the Cure have partnered in an unprecedented effort to save lives by providing free, simple prostate cancer screenings for any adult man attending the game at Yankee Stadium tomorrow against Tampa Bay. The free test will begin at 3 p.m. at the First Aid office located on the main level behind home plate. Men over 40 are especially at risk for prostate cancer. The test will be conducted by doctors and medical technicians from St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital Center and continue throughout the game. Men will be notified of the results within 2 weeks. Pat Burrell leads off, takes a strike from Chad Godin. Rays have lost 6 in a row and 9 of their last 12, and they are rapidly falling out of any chance at a playoff spot. There's a strike, 0-2. And the pitch. Outside, 2-2.
So the Yankees pitched Pat Burrell last night. A lot of sliders down and away. Had some sliders down and in from CC Sabathia, but really had a tough time against A.J. Burnett. Everything was away. Looks like the Yankees are going to attack him the same way tonight.
2-2. Strike 3. Burrell down looking. Third strikeout for Godin.
A perfect pitch. It looked like a little split changeup from Chad Godin. Check it out. Starts off the plate, dives down to that outside corner. Gary Cederstrom, the home plate umpire, makes a call. Perfect pitch, perfect location.
You know, John, sometimes you look at pitchers that don't have great numbers and you understand why. But then you look at Chad Godin. I'm not saying his stuff is electric, but he certainly has decent stuff, and his stuff would indicate that his record should be better. Is it just command with him?
I think it's command, and we mentioned he gets a first pitch ground ball.
And he'll make the out on Chris Richard, so score that 1-6-3.
We mentioned a lot about the slider. When he came over here from San Diego, the slider was pretty much non-existent. So he was a two-pitch pitcher, good fastball and a nice little split changeup. Now he's got another weapon, and when you watch him, you say, wow, this guy, you know, he's got a chance to get some people out. I really see him in that kind of middle role for the Yankees if they get to postseason play. You know, maybe get through 5 or 6 hitters and just kind of let it go. Should have some success.
Here's Greg Zahn. Chin-Ming Wong, a spectator as he rehabs his shoulder after surgery. He's hoping to get back sometime in the middle of next season if everything goes well. That one's tapped back to the mound. Godin. 2 strong innings for him. He works a 1-2-3 second inning, and he does it on just 8 pitches. He's thrown 18 over 2 innings, and we go to the bottom of the second. There's no score on my 9. Yankee fans, here's your chance to take on Russ. Brought to you by Toyota. If you could change one rule in Major League Baseball, what would it be and why? What do you think? Go to my9tv.com to blog or email us a video with your thoughts. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota, a smart way to keep moving forward. That's what it's all about. Dad and his kid watching the game, rooting for the same team, keeping score, passing it on from generation to generation. Pretty neat. Alex Rodriguez digs in against David Price. 1-0. You look at Alex's numbers, he's at 282. But if you take it back to June 24th, that was after he had rested those couple of days in Miami, he's a 326 hitter. There's a ground ball to short. Bartlett, one away. I think at that time the Yankees got a handle on, well, we got to rest this guy. We can't play him every day like we did before the surgery. And he's really been an important player for them, John.
Well, he really has. He's made a nice little adjustment with his leg kick, shortened his stride a little bit, and the results have been there. But you're right, Michael. It was kind of a trial by error, figuring out how to use him where he would be at his best. And again, we talked about it yesterday, a luxury for Joe Girardi now, having a big lead. You can pick your spots with all your regulars, give them some rest down the stretch.
Here's Nick Swisher, 6 home runs in 13 games against Tampa Bay. And the count is 1-0.
I mentioned earlier with David Price, a young pitcher, when he comes out of the pen with his good stuff, he usually can have a good night. He's got an ERA of 6.62 through his first 2 innings. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case tonight. He looked good in the first and looks pretty solid here in the second.
That one is driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. A long home run by Nick Swisher. Only his 4th home run here in the Bronx. And he is having some season. 25 on the year and a 1-0 Yankee lead.
Just when I mentioned David Price looking solid in the second inning, Nick Swisher got a 2-0 fastball that was right down Broadway. Full extension, you called it, Michael. That's a deep home run to left field. Has not had too many of them at the new Yankee Stadium. Usually hits his home runs on the road. That was a long, deep fly ball for Nick Swisher.
4 of 25 here in the Bronx. Here's Jorge Posada. Count 0-1. Flirted with that second deck, which is a long poke down the left field line. Strike. And Posada down swinging. Swisher's home run, his first here since June 8th. He's hit his share of home runs. Obviously 25, you sign up for that. Only 4 here at the stadium, so if they were more equal, well, he'd be having an even bigger year than he is.
And we tried to explain it yesterday. You just can't really do it. I mean, the new ballpark here, Yankee Stadium, it's a hitter's ballpark. Nick Swisher not really enjoying it. Maybe he'll enjoy it here in September.
And when he does hit a home run, he hits it to the deeper part of the park rather than going to right field. Pitch to Cano is high. He's felt caged in by the stadium, I guess. Count 1-1.
Be a tough at bat for Robinson Cano. The young lefty. Price has that power fastball, ran it in on his hands. Unusual to see a lefty throw fastballs in on left-handed batters. It's going to make it a little tougher for Robinson Cano tonight.
Strike 3. Price has good stuff, but he made one bad pitch to Nick Swisher. Price has 3 strikeouts. He's allowed 1 home run. A long, loud one to Swisher. Deep into the night and deep into the left field stands. We play 2. It's 1-0 Yanks. Time to take a look at the smile of the game, brought to you by new McCafe coffees made with fresh ground espresso, now at McDonald's. Beautiful girl with a great smile, and a beautiful little girl with a great smile missing one of its frames. Let's grow back. Probably get some money for that. Kind of has your cut, John. A little bit of an uppercut.
Yeah. Get under the ball, get in the air at the new stadium.
It,
Jet stream.
And there's a strike to Gabe Gross. That kid just threw his hat. Now he's going to throw a pizza. And they don't know where the hat went. There it is. All right, now don't throw it. I'm going to give it to you. Just don't throw it. It's expensive. It's a fitted cap. Not supposed to throw that.
Okay.
Oh.
The 0-2. What are the odds, John? Does he throw it again? You have 3 kids.
99%.
The Earthling scoreboard shows the Yankees leading 1-0.
That's how you do it. You keep them busy with the food, a little pizza.
See, he did it in such a great way. He talked with him and reasoned with him. My dad would have whacked me. You throw this again. 1 away.
A lot of kids at the ballpark tonight. Now it's the time of year you start talking about school nights. A lot of kids going back to school today. My kids going back tomorrow. Big smiles. All the kids excited about getting back. A lot of smiles on the parents' faces too. Excited about getting the kids back to school.
That one is laced into left field. A base hit for Iwamura. Now, you said this yesterday, John. I wonder about that. Were you ever excited going back to school? I know I wasn't. I didn't want to go back to school.
Never. I'm shocked.
You said your kids are happy, right?
All three of my kids are ecstatic to go back to school tomorrow. My daughter, who's in junior high, is going to have a tough time falling asleep tonight because she's so excited about going in. So obviously they take after their mom.
Lynn liked going to school.
She did. She was a school teacher, so it's all good.
Here's Jason Bartlett. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball. The 0-1. 1-1. Oh, he's an aggressive little tyke. Cute kid. Runner was going, and it's fouled back to the screen. 1-0 Yankees lead in the third. Did you hear the comment that Andy Sonnenstein made about last night's game? He said, "This is the worst day of my life." He said, "One of my close friends is knocked out for the season, Carlos Pena, and then I pitched the way I did, and I make them burn up 6 innings of the bullpen." He says, "The worst day of my life."
He's having a tough year. But I think that's what he felt worse about. I mean, we've talked so much yesterday about the Rays bullpen. They've been overworked. They're taxed. And Andy Sonnenstein goes out there and has a tough outing, and they got to pick up 6 innings out of the pen.
The 2-2. Strike 3. Bartlett down looking. Strikeout number 4 for Godin. Bartlett has been victimized twice.
This is a fastball that had a little life on it. Kind of jumped through the zone. It just froze Bartlett. In the inner half, he knew it was strike 3. He just kind of got frozen. Looked like he set up a little late. Good life through the zone.
Here's Crawford. Tripled off the glove of Johnny Damon in the first inning. And the first pitch is outside. 1-0.
Michael, we're at that point in the year where I find myself looking at these games a little bit differently. The Yankees have such a big lead, 9 games, and you start trying to figure out where some of the pieces fit together. A.J. Burnett in second game last night really looked good, the best he's looked in a long time. The Yankees hoping he gets on a nice roll in September. A.J. had to feel good about the work that he put in last night. Then you watch Chad Godin, and you're like, where's this guy going to fit in? Looks pretty good for 3 innings so far. Nice problem to have if you're Brian Cashman, Joe Girardi.
Godin keeping Iwamura close. Hot shot to Hairston. He'll step on the bag, and that'll do it in the third. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've played 2.5 here at the stadium. It's 1-0 Yanks.
Log on to batforthecure.org or Yankees.com. Stick around for your loved ones. A free PSA test could save your life. It saved mine.
Hey fans, each month Model Sporting Goods honors one local male and female high school.
New York Yankees baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Acura. Acura Advance. Burger King. Get delicious 2 for $4 King deals every day of the week at Burger King. And by Chase, now with over 14,000 ATMs nationwide. Chase, what matters? They had to pick up the hat again. And he's ready to throw it again, I'm sure. No. You were right, John.
It's only a matter of time.
Melky Cabrera takes a strike. Now they're taking another tack.
But look at the look in his eyes. How can you say no to the hat right there? You have to give it back. There you go.
On the Earthlink scoreboard, 1-0 Yankees lead, bottom of the third. Count 2-1. Melky a 4-game hitting streak, 7 for his last 15, and grounds that one to Iwamura. Out of town scoreboard brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Let's take a look around the American League first. Texas leading Cleveland 9-7 top of the ninth. Minnesota 1-0 over Toronto top third. Boston 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning, leads 3-0 now in the bottom of the second. And Detroit and KC will start shortly. In the National League, Cubs 7-0 over Pittsburgh top of the second. Washington 1-0 over Philly top of the third. Florida and the Mets scoreless bottom of the second. And starting shortly, Atlanta at Houston. And the pitch to Hairston is a strike. Punted and foul. Joe Girardi's been getting Hairston a lot of playing time. So overall with the Yankees and the Reds, he's at 273. But with the Yankees, he's 16 for 48, which is 333. Nice guy to come off the bench. He's got some pop, and he could play every single position. He is actually the Yankees' emergency catcher as well. All 3 outfield positions, all 4 infield and behind the plate.
I was hanging around the batting cage too today, and Jerry Harrison Jr. was hitting. Eric Hinsky. Those are the 2 happiest guys on the New York Yankee team. I mean, they came over from teams that weren't going to postseason play. They found a nice little spot here on the bench. Eric Hinsky, a little pop, left-handed off the bench. Jerry Harrison, you mentioned the versatility. Just think about these veteran guys playing for a team like Pittsburgh, playing for Cincinnati. You get traded over here. 9-game lead, looking forward to postseason play, and you got a chance possibly to get a big hit in a postseason game.
Red Sox now 4-0 top of the third inning.
I guess I was thinking about them today, Michael. You know, I was a backup player on some of those teams in 03, 04, and 05, and you have these thoughts creep into your head when you come into September and postseason play. I'm going to be that guy, you know, that one guy in postseason. Maybe you have one big swing of the bat. It never happened, but you always think there's that possibility it can happen. Guys like Derek Jeter always the ones getting the big hits, and a lot of times you hear about that backup player comes up and one big swing.
Grounded to third. Longoria. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Jeter. So Jeter so far in this series is 0 for 9 with a walk. His longest hitless streak of the year was 0 for 10. He struck out looking in the first inning. Lou Gehrig, 2,721 hits. Derek Jeter, 2,718 hits. How's this for coincidence? The first hit that David Price ever gave up was a home run to Derek Jeter. And that hit tied Derek Jeter with Lou Gehrig for the most hits ever at the old Yankee Stadium. And now he's trying to creep up on Lou Gehrig overall. That one's driven to right field and deep. Slicing, foul. And this is Derek Jeter's last home run at the old Yankee Stadium, John.
And it was against David Price. It was a slider. Hits it to right center. Plenty of carry for Derek Jeter. We haven't seen that slider tonight from David Price. It's pretty much been fastball changeup so far through 3 innings.
And the 1-1. Fouled away. 1-2.
Mentioned earlier, if you would rate Price's pitches, it would be fastball number 1. The changeup would be his second best pitch, and the slider definitely a work in progress. Try to project him as a big-time starter later on in his career. That slider is going to have to get better. Think about CC Sabathia, who had a devastating slider in Game 1 of yesterday's doubleheader. Fastball in on the hands. Seen that from Derek before. You just let it get deep, foul it off, spoil it. A lot of hitters would hit a weak ground ball on that pitch. Derek stays inside, fouls it off, and you live to see another pitch.
And the 1-2. Missed inside.
First slider of the game, and a pretty good one from Price down and in. Derek Jeter didn't even flinch.
Good at bat for Jeter. Against left-handers this year, Jeter's hitting .425.
You don't have to worry about the breaking ball going away from you against lefties. Slider's going to come into Derek Jeter right where he likes it. Stay inside, drive it to the right side of the field.
Two. He struck him out. So Jeter has struck out twice. He's 0 for 2, and that's the longest hit streak that he's had this year. He's done it once before, 0 for 10. And all those 0-fers have come in this series as Price strikes him out on the breaking ball. We go to the 4th.
Fans become part of the winning team by joining the New York Yankees fan club. For just $35, you'll receive an official membership card, a New York Yankees inaugural season baseball, special ticket discounts, and other exclusive fan club items. To join, call 1-800-GO-YANKS or log on to Yankees.com today.
Hey, it's time for the Jeep trivia question, brought to you by your local Jeep dealers. On this date in 1982, Don Mattingly made his Major League debut against the Orioles. Who did he replace in right field? Now, he wore number 23, and that's the one that's retired, but when he made his Major League debut, the number he wore was number 46. And the pitch to Longoria is a breaking ball strike. Let me ask you this, John. Derek's now 0 for 10, and we talk about, the pressure's not getting to him. But I think now at 0 for 10, obviously he's going to get those hits. But I think it's starting to weigh on him just a little bit now because he knows everybody's here watching for that.
I don't know if Derek, obviously people are here. They want to see it happen. But I don't think Derek really gets caught up in that type of stuff, to tell you the truth. I just think he hit some balls hard in the second game of last night's doubleheader. Didn't get any hits. David Price made one mistake so far in this ball game, and it cost him a run. But he's looked pretty dominant, so you can't really single Derek out.
But how about, forget about catching Garrick, how about just being 0 for 10? Doesn't that start to weigh on you?
Yeah, you start thinking about it because Derek has been one of the hottest hitters the month of August coming into September. We're used to seeing him get 2 hits, a lot of times 3 hits in games. And now, some thoughts start creeping like, you know what, I want to stay hot all the way through. You don't want to go through a little slump in September, and then come postseason time, you're thinking about your swing. Derek, not one of those guys who thinks an awful lot about his swing. He just sees the ball and hits it.
Popped up. And out of play.
And I say that because it might sound real simple, see the ball and hit the ball, but there are a lot of hitters who think about mechanics up at the plate. I was one of them. Alex Rodriguez thinks a lot about his mechanics when he's hitting. Derek, not one of those people. He's thinking about baseball. Where is it and where do I have to hit it hard?
How about DHing, John? Does that give him more time to think?
Well, look at him. He doesn't know what to do with himself. I mean, he's looking in the crowd, trying to find a comfortable spot on the bench, hanging next to Andy Pettit, having a good time, but he clearly does not know what to do with his time. It was a nightmare playing with Derek when he wasn't playing. He'd be in the dugout moving around, talking a lot, joking around with people.
Broken bat and a ground ball to Teixeira. He'll step on the bag. 1 away.
Fans, football is back, and the Yes Network has it covered. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, catch This Week in Football presented by Geico for a first look at the 2009 campaign. And Friday at 11, former Giant Lawrence Taylor sits down with our own Michael Kay on a revealing new center stage, only on Yes.
That's going to bring up Ben Zobrist, who struck out in the first inning.
Chad Godin not only has good stuff tonight, but very economical. Pitch count in the mid to upper 30s right now. That's been his problem when he started some of these ball games. The pitch count got out of control early on. Wasn't able to go deep in ball games. Doesn't look like that's going to be a problem tonight. Mentioned in the scouting report, if you get 5 innings out of Chad Godin, you have to feel very good about it. Turn it over to the bullpen.
Now, last time he pitched, or he started, against Toronto in Toronto, 3 2/3 innings, and to get those 2 outs in the 4th inning, he had thrown 80 pitches. His next pitch that he throws will be his 40th of the night. Three and 1. And Zobrist walks. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on My 9. We thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Yankees lead 1-0, top of the 4th inning. I guess you can't wear white pants anymore after Labor Day, John.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. I got to walk a couple of booths down and break that to John Sterling.
Is he wearing white today?
No, but he's a big white pants guy.
You don't have to worry about myself wearing white tomorrow night, okay?
All right. Well, you're always appropriately dressed. You're a very stylish guy. I'm sure you know you can't wear white after Labor Day.
I was told the other day that I cannot.
Don't know what John. I think John's wearing khaki slacks. No, it's a black suit, I'm told. Okay. The 1-0. 1-1.
Pat Burrell brought it here to Tampa to hit some home runs, supply some right-handed power. All of his 13 home runs have come against right-handed pitching. They're not doing the job against lefties. It's not doing the job all the way around. 13 home runs, 57 RBIs. Not what the Rays were expecting when they signed him to a 2-year deal.
And a pretty decent money, too. 2 years, $18 million. And that's kind of before the market, quote unquote, crashed, where a guy like Bobby Abreu, who I think is a much better player than Pat Burrell, ended up signing for $5 million with the Angels. And although he had a very bad August, his overall statistics are still very good.
We'll see Bobby Abreu and the Angels next week on Monday.
That'll be a makeup of a rain-out game from earlier, and then the Yankees still have 3 games remaining on the coast against the Angels, and those are going to be bragging games, I think, because the Yankees don't want to go into any possible postseason series with the Angels not thinking they could beat them. So they're also battling for the best record in the American League, so there's a lot on the line in those 4 games. Missed outside, 3-2.
Well, looking forward to that Angels series. Obviously, the Yankees aren't looking too far ahead, but I want to see Kendry Morales, the guy they've been talking about, a possible MVP out there in California. They let Mark Teixeira go, and Morales stepped in, having a big year at first base for the Angels.
Runner goes, 3-2 is a strike. The throw to second. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play. So that's going to do it in the 4th inning for the Rays. Takes an inside strike, and the throw to second. Zobrist didn't even get to the bag, and he is out. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Time for the answer to the Jeep Trivia Quiz. The question was, on this date in '82, the captain, Don Mattingly, made his Major League debut against the Orioles. Who did he replace in right field? The answer is Ken Griffey Sr. Mattingly had some really nice things to say about Derek Jeter today. And he said, the one thing that people don't realize, they always talk about leadership and he's not a rah-rah guy. He said, nobody knows what goes on inside the clubhouse. They said the same thing about me. He said, because the media wants you to be rah-rah to them to show how rah-rah you are to the team. He said, but that's not the way it works. You want your team to respect you. You don't want to take that laundry and take it outside. He said, I think that Jeter's been a great leader for the Yankees, and he's one of those guys, and I thought this was an interesting point, John, that when he breaks this record, everybody will be happy for him. There's nobody that's going to be jealous or deny him that record because they feel that he's earned it, he's battled for it, and he deserves it.
I totally agree with Don Mattingly, and you know what, I remember when Derek was anointed the captain. Was that in Cincinnati?
Yep.
I believe. I think that might have been my first year with the Yankees, and it was almost like, wait a second, he already hasn't been named captain because he carried himself that way. Everybody showed him that respect. They knew that the team was his to lead, and it was just a formality to put the title on it. Does a lot of things in that clubhouse to lead the troops and leads by example out on the field.
Mattingly went on to say, you know, Yankee history is sacred. He said, but if there's a guy who should pass Lou Gehrig, he said it's Derek Jeter, which really nice words. Grounded sharply to first. Richard will make the play and step on the bag, one down. Giant fans, this Saturday night, Coach Coughlin goes one-on-one with My Nine to reveal his big expectations for Big Blue's new season. Plus, who made the final cut on this year's roster and what you, the fans, want from this year's team. Giants 2009 return to glory Saturday night at 7:30 on My Nine. Pitch is outside to Mark Teixeira. One run in this game, a long home run by Nick Swisher in the second. High chopper. Price field sets and just got the hustling Teixeira for the second out. Boy, Price was deliberate, but he knew he could throw a fastball to Richard.
Well, he does a nice job charging this chopper. Comes up, makes the play, and then you're right, Michael, takes a little extra crow hop, a strong throw. We're going to take another look to see if he does get Mark Teixeira. First base umpire Fielding Culberth makes the call.
Mick Kelleher did not argue. Here's Alex Rodriguez. And a strike.
Take another look. A strong, accurate throw.
I don't know, John.
Bang, bang play. Mark didn't complain. Mick Kelleher didn't complain.
The one who really knows is the first baseman because he could feel the foot coming down on the bag and he could feel when the ball's hitting his mitt. Everybody else could surmise. It's hard to keep track of all of those same stimuli, but the first baseman knows.
Even in slow motion, tough to make the call.
Fielding Culberth made that call. Alex, a .346 hitter against Tampa Bay this year with a home run and 4 ribbies.
Best swing Alex Rodriguez had all night right there on that fastball. The shortest swing that he's had. He's been behind the fastball a couple of times. He's right on this one. Down and away. Good short swing. Leg kick a little abbreviated. The hands work a little bit better. Price throws a fastball, he better elevate it up in the zone.
Count 2-2. Price has not been great on the road. 1-4, 5.60 at home. He's 6-3, 3.28. And the day-night splits are also stark. At day 4-1, 3 ERA. At night 3-6, 5.46 ERA. 2-2. Fouled away. Those are the numbers we're talking about.
He's got a veteran catcher and Greg Zahn behind the plate, but I'll tell you what, it looks like David Price is calling his own game. Greg Zahn going through multiple signs. Looks like the young lefty has a good idea of what he wants to do, how he wants to attack some of these hitters. See, shaking off a few signs, gets the pitch he wants.
David Price was a star in the postseason last year as a reliever. Boy, but if it's proof positive that teams consider starters more valuable than relievers, Price proved that he could close last year. He closed postseason games, but the Rays said, hey, it's more important that we have him as a big-time starter because they don't have a closer. Grounded left side, backhanded by Bartlett. He sets and fires, and a nice backhanded scoop by Richard for the final out of the 4th inning as the Yankees are retired in order. We played 4 here at the stadium. Alex Rodriguez's bid for a hit, foiled by Bartlett, who made a nice throw. Let's go to the 5th inning. Yankees are leading this one 1-0. Tomorrow night, Fox 5 will rock your TV right out of the living room. Starting at 8 as a whole new group of dancers hit America's stage on So You Think You Could Dance? Then at 9, it's the premiere of fall's most talked about new show, Glee. Don't miss a note or a laugh as a bright-eyed teacher tries to save a ragtag high school glee club. So You Think You Could Dance? Glee. It's TV's hottest night in years tomorrow, starting at 8 p.m. on our sister station, Fox 5. Here's Chris Richard, 35 years old, and he has spent the last 5 years in the minor leagues. The Burger King scoreboard shows you the Yankees leading 1-0, top of the 5th. That is stick-to-itiveness.
Had a good year at AAA, hitting 24 home runs, which was 3rd in the International League. Shelley Duncan led the league. 30 home runs, 99 RBIs. Most valuable player of the International League.
There's a base hit to right field for Chris Richard.
Well, Richard doesn't hit a home run, but a nice short, quick left-handed stroke. Pulls a fastball into right field.
You think it could have hung in the minors that long, John?
No. You know, my dad also had a timetable on me. He said, you know, if you don't make it to the big leagues by this amount of time, then it's look for something else to do. But I tip my hat to this guy. I mean, he had a taste of the big leagues, went back to the minor leagues, worked on his game for a long time. I give those guys a lot of credit. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Now, one thing, you know, he's been in AAA for all these years, and you can make a decent living. And maybe he's thinking, well, what am I going to do that I'm going to earn this kind of money? I'm not saying you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you're making over the medium income.
Yeah, you can make a living and pay your bills, no doubt about that. But I think that most of the guys that are hanging on at AAA, it's not about the living, it's still chasing the dream. I mean, you hear about the stories that some people figure it out later on in their career.
Oh boy. That's on it.
Greg Zahn, a veteran catcher brought over from the Orioles. Nice job behind the plate, calling a game. Can work with a lot of these young pitchers, especially a young guy like Price tonight. Good little switch hitter, not a lot of power, put the ball in play. Hit and run guy, situational hitter.
Off speed pitch, Zahn way out in front. Another strikeout for Chad Godin.
Like I said, Zahn can put the ball in play. Good little situational hitter. He swings right over the top of a slider. Nice pitch by Chad Godin. Got it all working tonight. Good fastball, nice slider, good changeup.
6 strikeouts.
Seems like everything I say tonight goes the other way, Michael. I'll talk about Zahn putting the ball in play, strikes out. David Price having a good inning, gives up a home run to Nick Swisher.
I wouldn't read too much into that, John. You're being very harsh on yourself.
Should I talk about the pace of play?
That should slow it down.
Already in the 5th inning.
Tino Martinez talking things over. Got a good seat too. He's got the first seat right next to the Yankee dugout.
Doesn't he look like a Yankee executive right now? I'm working the phones. Got a great seat too.
Right back to Godin. He dropped the ball and they go to first. They'll say that he held it. He dropped the ball on the exchange, so it is a double play. 1-3. So Chad Godin completes 5 innings for the first time since July 26. We're halfway through. Yankees are up by 1. Today's Sweet Swing is brought to you by Sweet Million, the new draw game from the New York Lottery.
Well, Nick Swisher in the bottom of the second inning. He got a 2-0 fastball right down the middle. It definitely is a sweet swing, a long home run. Home run number 25 for Nick Swisher.
That was today's Sweet Swing, brought to you by the New York Lottery Sweet Million, on sale September 15th. And Nick Swisher leads off on the Burger King scoreboard. That 1-0 is thanks to Nick Swisher, that home run that John just talked about. Count 1-0.
It's amazing how you talk about the sweet swing and then he leads off the inning. Incredible how that happens.
It's unbelievable. There's a strike.
Nick has been the only guy that's been able to figure out Price, and the only reason he did it, he got ahead in the count 2-0, and he just sat on a fastball and he got one right down the middle. Everybody else has had their hands full, been behind in the count. Four and 2, a 3.29 his last 6 starts. Trying to finish up the year strong. Look forward to next year.
We talked about this toward the end of the inning, John. There's been such a debate about Jabba, and there's going to be a debate about Phil Hughes, whether they should stay in the bullpen, and the Yankees are convinced that both should be starters because they say starters are harder to find. There's a strike. And boy, the Rays are proof positive that the one thing that they are lacking is a closer. They do not have a closer in the bullpen to get those final 3 outs. This guy proved in the cauldron of pressure of the postseason that he could do it, David Price, and they're electing to start him rather than relieve him. So they think it's easier to find a closer somewhere somehow. 3-2. Check swing, and Swisher walks.
Last year, closing out the American League Championship Series was David Price. The ground ball to Uemura on their way to the World Series.
So Joe Madden wanted Price in the rotation. They actually started Price down in the minors because they've got their own rules with that as well. Yankees are the only team that limit the innings and the pitches that their youngsters throw. Except it's so high profile because Jabba was such a high profile player when he came up in 07, and he electrified the crowd and kind of moved their schedule up because last year he was supposed to be in the minors the whole year. And this year he was supposed to be a full-fledged starter. They sold a lot of shirts, but they rankled a lot of fans with the Jabba rules. The 0-1 fouled away.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how the whole Jabba Chamberlain situation works out here at the end of September and into postseason play. And talk about Chad Godin, where's he going to fit in? You know, A.J. Burnett has gotten himself right. Well, you know, Jabba Chamberlain, see what he does his next couple of starts. The Yankees probably going to try to stretch him out a little bit. You need to start seeing some more positive signs from Jabba if he's going to be a factor come postseason play.
The 0-2. 1-2. What do you think is more important, John? A closer? Now, with the Yankees, that's not the argument. They have a closer, so those guys would have been 8th inning guys. David Price would have been the closer. What's more important, a closer or a big-time starter?
Well, if you can find a big-time starter, obviously a #1 type guy, I mean, you got to throw him out in the rotation. Now, the argument is David Price a starting pitcher? Is Jabba Chamberlain a starting pitcher? I've said from day one I view Jabba as a relief pitcher just because he's done it before. He's pitched big innings. He was a 2-pitch pitcher and he was dominant. You know, and when he's been a starter, we haven't seen that same type of dominance through a lineup 2 times and possibly 3 times like that guy has proved he can do. Now, David Price, you know, the Rays obviously know him better than we do. They think he's going to be a dominant starter.
That one gets past Zahn as Swisher moves into scoring position.
Because the question becomes going through a lineup 2 and 3 times. Some guys can do it 1 time. Other guys can do it multiple times. Fastball just yanks it down in the zone.
And the 2-2. And Posada swings and misses. One away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Pretzels for everybody. Ice cream helmet. Twizzlers. That's a ball game. And a strike to Cano. Zahn wants to have a talk with Price. Swisher off second. Cano struck out looking in the second, the 0-1. Grounded to short. Swisher advances to third. Cano is out at first, 2 down. Celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium this Saturday, September 12th, when the Yankees take on the Orioles. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees luggage tag courtesy of Stone Mountain Accessories. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. And the night is over for that little guy. No sign of the hat. Swung on and missed. Where's the hat, John?
The hat's probably in the row before him. He's thrown it so many times, they said forget about it.
Melky has to get out of the way of that one.
Another fastball just yanks it down and in. Melky Cabrera moving his feet. Where it gets tough if you're Melky Cabrera. You got to respect that fastball. You've already been late on it. Now you're behind in the count 1-2. Let's try to shorten up, put the ball in play. A runner on third. Be a fastball away.
Too far away in the count, 2-2.
Well, you love everything you see about David Price. The velocity, be able to move the ball in and out. You got a good changeup. Well, if that slider gets a little bit better, then the American League is in a lot of trouble.
And the count is full at 3-2. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on My 9. Big crowd at the stadium as the Yankees lead 1-0. Bottom of the 5th inning. Chad Godin has really pitched a good game over 5. And David Price has made one mistake, a home run he allowed to Nick Swisher with 1 out in the second. And that's the difference in this game. 1-0 Yanks as they try to win their 3rd straight against Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay tries to snap a 6-game losing streak. Derek Jeter so far tonight is 0 for 2. And he's 0 for 10 in the series. 3-2. Grounded foul.
Good job by Melky Cabrera there. He had seen all fastballs from David Price. Price came with a 3-2 slider. A nice piece of hitting by Melky just to foul that off. Got to believe Price is going to come back with his best pitch here. 3-2 would be that power fastball. We'll see if he wants to go in or out with it.
Driven deep to left field. High drive heading toward the pole. It is a foul ball.
Melky was sitting on that fastball and he got it inside just a little bit too quick. Like it would have had the distance, just a little bit foul. A little cat and mouse now. If you're a catcher, do you go back inside? Melky's pulled the fastball. Probably looking for a pitch away. If you're Greg Zahn, do you go back in there or do you stay away? They're going to go away.
8th pitch of the at-bat. And Melky spoils it.
Melky's starting to catch up to that fastball. Might be time for that good changeup. A couple of good swings back to back. Go another fastball.
And another foul ball.
Little smile on David Price's face. Now it's a battle. Who wants it more? Price giving him his best stuff, his best fastball. Melky doing a good job fouling it off. See who wins the battle.
Three-two. Popped up near the plate, and a nice play by Zahn for the final out of the 5th inning. So the walk to Swisher does not come back to haunt Price. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We've played 5, 1-0 Yanks. Chad Gaudin with 6 strikeouts over 5 innings. Let's take a look.
That's the most since July 16th for Chad Gaudin. A power fastball inside. Little sinking changeup. Fastball right down the middle of Bartlett. Another fastball. He's had a good one tonight. A good slider to Greg Zahn. This one's right over the top.
Iwamura will lead off against Gaudin. Count 0-1.
Well, I said in our scouting report on Chad Gaudin, 5 and fly. Well, he's obviously in the 6th inning now, looking to build on his impressive performance. 6 strikeouts tonight. Saw a shot of Dave Eiland, pitching coach for the Yankees. He's got to be happy with what he sees with his starting pitcher tonight, but he was ecstatic about A.J. Burnett last night. He said in the second inning, he really found something and just kind of rode it all the way through to the 6th. Look for positive things the rest of the month of September.
Right back to Godin. 1 away.
Again, it looks like that split changeup had a little movement down and away. Iwamura just slaps it back up the middle. Nice job by Godin. Get yourself in fielding position. Nice athletic play. Easy throw over to first base.
Rip foul. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Blimpie, America's Sub Shops. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Texas outlasts Cleveland 11-9. 3-0 Minnesota over Toronto, top of the 6th. Boston shutting out Baltimore 8-0, top of the 5th. And Detroit 1-0 over KC, bottom of the 2nd. Bartlett with a fly ball to right. Swisher is there. 2 outs. Let's take a look at the National League. 8-2 Cubs over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, what was it, 7 straight hits in the first inning that the Cubs had against Pittsburgh. Washington 2-1 over Philadelphia, top of the 6th. Florida 4-1 over the Mets, top of the 5th. And Atlanta 1-0 over Houston, top of the 2nd.
You watch the radar gun, 91 miles an hour, but it definitely looks like Chad Godin has a little bit of life on that fastball. A lot of these Rays hitters have been behind. They've been late. Tells you that Godin probably hiding the ball a little bit. Good deception, a lot of life through the zone. Not lighting up the radar gun, but the hitters will tell you he's got a good fastball tonight.
Lined into right field. Crawford picks up his 2nd hit of the night, a 2-out single.
I'm having one of those great nights. Obviously, Carl Crawford had a tough time with the fastball. Lines it to right field. Talking about the life on Chad Godin's fastball. Take that, Flaherty. Line drive right to right field.
Game slowed down a bit since you mentioned it, too. Crawford came into the game hitless in his last 19 at bats, 2 for his last 25, and here he is 2 for 3 tonight. Here's Longoria. They picked him off. They picked off Crawford. Yesterday, they pitched out, and they got him. Posada, the only catcher to get him twice this year, and he was leaning there, and Godin nagged him to end the inning. Pretty bad mistake by Crawford. Looked pretty close at first base. Crawford can't believe it as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Carl Crawford got picked off at first base. He's had a tough base running night. Made a mistake in the first inning and then gets caught leaning. See, relax a little bit. Looked like he was trying to get another half step. Fielding Colbert, the first base umpire, bangs him out. Chad Godin, good quick feet, accurate throw, gets the call.
That's the operative phrase. He actually looked like his hand was in there before the tag. Jerry Hairston Jr. inside 1-0.
Well, the Yankees have something on Carl Crawford. They know that he likes to run early in the count. They pitched out last night early in the count, then they throw over tonight and get the pick off. Jorge Posada loves it, makes his life a whole lot easier behind the plate.
And Jorge actually said it after the game when he threw him out. And you would think that they changed that up. I mean, the Yankees just blatantly know he's going to run on the first or second pitch.
Well, they follow trends. And I mean, Carl Crawford, one of those guys, when he gets on base, he likes to dictate the action. Tony Pena, the bench coach, all over it. But they have stats on everything nowadays, and they know that a lot of Rays runners like to run early in the count. Carl Crawford having a tough night. Base running mistake in the first inning when he was on third. Picked off first base in the 6th inning.
2-1. Deep drive, left field, but Crawford is there for the first out. And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Jeter struck out looking in the first, struck out swinging in the third. And he is at a season high or season long 0 for 10. Derek 3 hits away from tying Lou Gehrig, most in Yankee history, and he takes a strike. Count 0-2.
Well, David Price, third time through the order with Derek Jeter, struck him out twice, but he changed it up a little bit. Back-to-back sliders. Derek just had one to hit. He fouled off.
And the young left-hander deals inside. Inside corner, so Jeter is down looking. He is 0 for 3. And 0 for 11 in this series. That's his longest streak without a hit this year.
Well, Derek is shaking his head. He got 2 sliders. Here's the first one, strike 1. This is the one he had to hit. That's a hanger middle of the plate. He fouls it off. And then a perfect fastball on the inside corner. It's that second slider that you'd be shaking your head at. It's the one you needed to put in play.
Pitch outside to Damon.
You're seeing why the Rays love David Price and the fact that he could be a starter. He struck out Derek Jeter 3 times. He's changed it up all 3 at bats.
(3-1), and Johnny Damon works a 2-out walk. Only the second walk for Price.
Pitch count getting up there for David Price, 95. Obviously on a pitch count, a young left-hander, they won't let him go much more of 100, 110.
Hot shot up the middle, a base hit. So Teixeira extends his hitting streak to 5 straight. And that puts 2 runners on for Alex Rodriguez.
It's just a bullet right back up the middle. A fastball elevated out over the plate. Only the second hit that Price has given up. First one was a long home run to Nick Swisher. This one is a rocket right back up the middle. Most pitches that David Price has thrown this year, 114.
And Alex Rodriguez pops it up and out of play.
Tells you how good Chad Godin has been. He's thrown 65 pitches through 6 innings. David Price coming close to the century mark. Still got a good fastball, plenty of life on it.
Foul back. The 0-2. Next pitch will be number 100. Jim Hickey calling out there. See who's ready.
Call to the bullpen has been a tough one for the Rays lately. Got a lot of those relievers running on fumes coming down the stretch here in September. Starting pitching has not done a good job going deep into the ball game. Four fastballs in a row from David Price. Still got a lot of velocity, 97 that last one. Rays staying with that fastball, pounding Alex Rodriguez inside. He's thrown 5 in a row. You start thinking about a possibility of an off-speed pitch. David Price watching Alex Rodriguez a little bit late on the fastball. He's not giving in to the temptation of throwing a slider that might speed up Alex's bat, or maybe a changeup. 5 fastballs in a row going right at him.
2-2. Well, they're making Price work, and at worst they're going to knock him out of the game after 6 and get into a somewhat porous bullpen.
Know exactly what's going through Greg Zaun's mind here. He's saying, man, we've thrown 6 in a row. Do you think he's catching up to it? It looks like he's a little behind. Maybe we should waste an off-speed pitch and then go back to the fastball. See pitches per start for David Price. High 114, average 98.
Two. Line drive, base hit to left field. Johnny Damon will round third. He'll score. Mark Teixeira goes to third. He's in there. It's an RBI single for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees lead 2-0. And A-Rod has now driven in a run in 6 of his last 7 games.
Well, the Yankees do this all with 2 outs. A walk by Johnny Damon, a base hit by Mark Teixeira, and then Alex Rodriguez gets 7 fastballs in a row. That's the second. Here comes the third. Just misses down and away. Fouled off. Another fastball up and out. Good swing, and then he gets one inside. The shortest swing that he has had tonight. Just drops his hands, pulls it to left field. Johnny Damon scores easily. Mark Teixeira all the way to third base. Big 2-out RBI base hit by Alex Rodriguez.
Jim Hickey will come out and talk with Price. Let's talk about that, John, because I've heard Alex say it as well. You said that's the shortest swing he's had all night. That's the difference I've seen in him this year. In these spots, rather than trying to jack it out all the time, he shortens his swing and wants to hit the ball hard, put it in play.
He did a nice job when he got behind in the count. He shortened everything up. Let's face it, he's strong enough. All he has to do is hit the ball on the barrel. It's going to jump. Leg kick, nice and short. Beautiful swing. We've seen Alex in the past get beat with fastballs inside, not on that swing. That's beautiful. It helps when you see 7 fastballs in a row, too. I mean, you start to get the timing down.
'80th run batted in for Alex Rodriguez. So the Yankee lead is now 2-0. Here's Nick Swisher with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Walk, single, single. Popped up, shallow center. Zobrist on the run, slides, and makes the play. So David Price gets the final out of the 6th, but not before the Yankees score 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. Could have been more, but a nice play by Ben Zobrist as we go to the 7th. Yankees up 2. Want to own a piece of the original Yankee Stadium? Take home many artifacts, including stadium seats from the original place? Call Yankee Steiner Collectibles at 800-759-SCORE. There are many unique items which are the perfect addition to any Yankee fan's collection. Contact Yankee Steiner Collectibles today at 800-759-SCORE or visit steinersports.com or yankees.com. Verizon wireless scoreboard, 2-0 Yankees. Brian Bruni getting ready.
Slider's been such a good pitch for Chad Godin tonight. That was the worst slider he's thrown all night, and Longoria pulled it foul. Marte joining Brian Bruni in the bullpen. Point in the ball game where the pitch count is under control, but you want to make sure that Chad Godin leaves on a positive note. Been very impressive tonight.
Rip foul.
Those are 3 back-to-back-to-back bad sliders from Chad Godin. That would be the first warning sign for Dave Island, the pitching coach. Joe Girardi.
Driven deep to left field. Damon back, still back. See ya. Home run Longoria, and the Yankee lead is cut in half. Well, you could see it happening there, John.
I saw more with the sliders. They were kind of rolling. His hand was underneath the ball, and then he decided to change it up and go with a fastball, and they really didn't have a lot on it. Pretty much middle of the plate. Evan Longoria, who's been hot in the month of September, he got one right down Broadway, just like Nick Swisher did. And when he hits it on the barrel, it's going to jump out of here. Home runs. Be careful here with Ben Zobrist. He's got some pop. 23 home runs, 72 RBIs. Keep something down and away with a little bit of movement.
Hit sharply, a base hit. And Zobrist picks up a single.
They've thrown 6 pitches in this inning. They really haven't been quality. Dave Island's going to go to the phone, see who's ready to go. I believe with a right-hander, they're going to be looking for Brian Bruni. It's a fastball down the middle. He challenges him. And Zobrist right on it. It's a line drive to right field. Like I said, you want to be able to get Godin out of this ball game, leaving on a positive note, and it looks like they're going to give him another hitter, Pat Burrell.
Count 1-0.
Home plate umpire Gary Cederstrom has been a pitcher's umpire tonight. Godin didn't get the call. Pitch count up at 74. Really the first pitch I think Gary has missed tonight. Looked like a pretty good slider for a strike. Didn't get the call.
And the count now 3-0. So it is starting to unravel here for Chad Godin. He still holds a 2-1 lead, but it's somewhat tenuous. Tying runs at first, a 3-0 count on Burrell. Let's see if they turn him loose on 3-0. And he walks him. So now the tying run moves into scoring position, and that's going to do it for Chad Godin as Joe Girardi will go to his bullpen. And he calls on the left-hander Marte with Richard due up. There's a lot of righties on the bench. You've got Kapler, you've got Upton, you've got some switch hitters. So Joe Madden could take out the lefty Richard. Well, Chad Godin's going to get a nice hand, and he deserves it. Up to this inning, he was just splendid. An outstanding performance by the right-hander. He takes a slow walk to the Yankee dugout. Damaso Marte will come on to face Chris Richard. Tying runs at second base. Yankees lead 2-1. Well, Joe Girardi makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. Big moment in the game. 7th inning. Yankees hold a 2-1 lead. And they bring in Damaso Marte. Now, most of that ERA came earlier when he was battling arm problems. But since he's come out the DL, he's had pretty good stuff.
Oh, he has. He's been a very pleasant surprise. 5 games, 4 1/3 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Like I said, a pleasant surprise for Joe Girardi and his staff. Marte coming off the DL, throwing the ball lights out.
Kapler pinch hits for Richard. And it's 1-0.
Could be a possibility of a sacrifice bunt here. Kapler looking down at third base coach Tom Foley for the signs. Was not showing bunt on the first pitch. Now in a hitter's count.
Popped up, shallow right. Nick Swisher is there for the first out. Those are the numbers that John just told you about. Now Greg Zahn has been called back. He will not hit. And they'll send up Deanna Navarro. Now they're both switch hitters, but it's kind of like they're in a funky platoon. Against lefties, Navarro will play, which is odd. He was an all-star last year. And against righties, Zahn plays.
And Navarro gets a pinch hit opportunity here. And you see Joe Madden, the manager of the Rays, not managing this game late for 1 run or a tie ball game. He doesn't feel good about his bullpen. He's turning some of his hitters loose, trying to have a big inning. Mentioned it yesterday and today. The bullpen is fatigued, not at full strength.
Well, now, with the information that we know and he knows, well, Joe Girardi said, all right, you're going to bring in a guy that you don't like to hit left-handed. I'll bring in a right-hander, and you're going to make him turn around to the left side. So Marte comes on to get the pinch hitter Kapler, and now they can call Navarro back because they have another catcher, Sean Riggins. We'll see how Joe Madden works this. So now Brian Bruni comes on. Tying run still at second. Yankees are up 2-1 in the 7th. Monday night this fall, they take down the worst criminals to hit New York City. It would be a crime to miss back-to-back episodes of Law & Order: Criminal Intent. It's one of TV's best dramas. Monday nights at 8 p.m. starting September 28th on My 9. The press watching this closely as Bruni comes on, and Navarro will spin around to the left side. Against righties, he's hitting 188 this year. Against lefties, 295. Now, you might have missed it earlier. David Robertson is experiencing stiffness in his right elbow, and he's visiting Dr. James Andrews in Alabama. So Brian Bruni moving up kind of on that ladder, the pecking order. And in his last 11 games, 10 and 2/3 innings, 1 run, 8 hits, 8 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So he's flirted with disaster, but has managed to avoid it. There's a strike.
Brian Bruni kind of rounding himself into form at the right time. If you're the Yankees, came off the disabled list a little bit jumpy, a little bit excited, couldn't find the strike zone. He seems to be settling down. He's getting some innings under his belt after the forearm strain.
Grounded to third. Nice play by A-Rod, and he will beat Zobrist to the bag for the second out.
A nice play by Alex Rodriguez. Navarro stays inside, slaps it the other way. Alex going to his right, gets to his feet quickly, and then it's a foot race to third base. Able to beat Zobrist. Good quick first step for Alex Rodriguez. Hip obviously not a problem. Good quickness at third, good reactions.
And now with Gabe Gross due up, Joe Girardi really massaging this bullpen, so he's going to call on another left-hander. This will be Phil Koch, and that will force Joe Maddon's hand again. Does he go back to his bench? Looks like Willie Ibar is going to pinch hit. A lot of stuff going on. The wheels are turning. Manager's going cap bill to cap bill. It's 2-1 Yankees. So Maddon and Girardi matching wits. So far, Girardi has won each move. So now Maddon sends up Ibar to pinch hit for the lefty swinging Gross against the lefty Phil Koch. Koch has not pitched since September 2nd. Ibar against left-handed pitchers, 244 this year. Against righties, 257. Swung on a miss.
Phil Koch well rested, showing a good fastball in that first pitch to Willie Ibar. A nice luxury for Joe Girardi, being able to mix and match here in the 7th inning when he got Phil Hughes locking down the 8th. A healthy Mariano Rivera for the 9th. Almost has a little playoff feel here where you mix and match with your bullpen. You got a couple of pieces. Couple of lefties, righty.
1-1. Foul back. 1-2. Koch has come on this year and inherited 43 base runners. 33 of them have been stranded. It's a pretty good percentage. And the 1-2. Snap throw to first. And hustling back is Navarro. He really strayed far off the bag, and Posada heads up, fired to first, but Navarro got back.
Jorge Posada, your job behind the plate, make sure this ball stays in front. It's not picture perfect, but he does the job. Sees Navarro straying off. A strong throw, just doesn't get him. Nice job by Jorge Posada, just keeping it in front. A tough pitch to block.
Now the count is full at 3-2. So that releases the base runners. 3-2 and 2 outs. Chad Godin now a spectator. He can win the game. He can't lose it. And Posada and Koch want to get on the same page. Runners go. Missed outside, so the bases are loaded.
Take a look at the pitch by pitch. Phil Koch, fastball, strike 1. Goes with another one that misses up and away. Another fastball right down the middle, fouled off, and then a slider. Nice play by Posada. That's the one he wanted Ibar to swing at. He didn't do it, and then he misses off the plate away with the fastball. 2-2 slider was a quality pitch. Ibar did not swing.
And the pitch to Iwamura is the strike. He did not hold up.
Phil Koch has faced Iwamura 3 times. Akinori has 1 hit in those 3 at bats. Quality first pitch slider. See a lot of movement in his swing, gets his body moving, can't hold up the hands.
Burrow, Navarro, and Ibar, third to first. Shattered back. Ground ball to Hairston. Fires to first. And the Yankee bullpen does the job. All the mixing and matching by Girardi pays off beautifully as he outduels Joe Madden in the Battle of Wits. But the Rays get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. At the end of 6.5, time for the 7th inning stretch. Phil Koch is pumped up, but will stay right here with the Yankees leading 2-1 to honor America in the Bronx.
Servicemen and women serving our country at home and around the globe. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
Exciting top of the 7th inning. Yankees use a lot of pitchers, 4 to be exact, and they give up just that 1 run on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. It's 2-1 Yankees as we head to the bottom of the 7th. So the Yankee bullpen does its job, and now we'll see if the Rays bullpen can do its job. Lance Cormier will take over for David Price. There's some changes defensively for the Rays. All the guys that pinch hit are in the game. Ibar is at first base. Kapler is in right field. Navarro behind the plate. And as I mentioned, Lance Cormier is pitching. Those are his numbers.
He's had a good year. He suffered the loss yesterday in the first game, gave up 3 runs in the 8th inning. A big inning for the Yankees in that first game of the day-night doubleheader.
Posada struck out twice against Price. Pretty impressive. The young left-hander gets to start, strikes out Posada twice and Jeter 3 times. 2 of the Yankees' old guard. Count 1-1.
We talked about it early, Michael. You know, if he came out of the bullpen with his location, he was going to be tough, and he was. I mean, the Yankees only had 3 hits off him. Home run by Nick Swisher, big RBI base hit, a 2-out RBI base hit by Alex Rodriguez. Price was pretty much dominant. The Yankees fortunate to have the lead in this ball game.
Cormier took the loss in yesterday's game. in the first game. A third of an inning, a hit, 3 runs, and 2 walks. Interesting comment by Joe Madden after yesterday's game. You know, people talking about how his bullpen has been really bad of late. He said, listen, we are what we are. I mean, we have matchup pitchers, and sometimes when they don't get the guy they're matched up against, it's going to look ugly. He said, but there are no alternatives. This is what we have. This is the type of pitchers that we have right now, and we either have to make this work or we can't.
And to add on to that, what's he supposed to do? I mean, his starting rotation has not done a good job of going deep into ball games. So the bullpen has had to pick up some innings in the 5th, 6th inning. Now they're beat up. Jorge Posada strikes out for the 3rd time. But if you're the manager of a team trying to keep your team in a wild card race, you got to make some moves to the bullpen. Sometimes they work out. Lately, they have not worked out for the Rays.
Bill Hughes ready to pitch the 8th inning. Former Yankee Randy Choate ready in the Rays bullpen. Here's Cano. Fouled off.
Well, you're right. The Rays have a lot of those situational relievers. Randy Choate, you saw the delivery drops down on lefties. Pretty much a situational left-hander. They have Chad Bradford, who does the same thing from the right side. Is tough on righties. Schaus drops down from the left side. So Joe Madden, hands are kind of tied with some of his guys in the bullpen. Really can't go extended innings. They're pretty much one batter at a time.
And also another problem in facing the Yankees, John, is they have so many switch hitters that you almost render those guys useless, because those guys get out like hitters, not the opposite hitters, and all you have to do if you're Yankees, turn around to the other side. Just in the lineup alone tonight, 4 switch hitters. Hot shot up the middle. Snared there by Iwamura, but no play. A base hit for Cano. A lot of range. Iwamura even stopping that ball from going into the outfield.
Yeah, he's been impressive after the knee surgery, not showing any ill effects. Robinson gets a hanging curveball, just drives it right back up the middle. But you're right, watch the range by Iwamura. Going to his right, not able to make the play. Looks like he's moving pretty well after that knee surgery.
Got a bulky brace on too, as you can see through the uniform pants, and still getting it done. Here's Melky Cabrera. He grounded out to second and fouled out to the catcher. Let's see if they can turn 2 here. There's one on to first. Not in time. That was awkwardly turned by Bartlett. He didn't give a real good feed to Iwamura.
Joe Madden's going to come out and argue that play at first base, the end result. But you're right, Michael. Bartlett makes the play, but it's an awkward feed. You can see he's coming in charging, and he gives a low feed to Iwamura, who gets his feet tangled up a little bit, has to do an off-balance throw, didn't have a lot on it.
He was out.
It looked like he was out. Take another look at the feed. It's going to be low to Iwamura. He goes down to get it. Not a lot on the throw, but enough to get Melky Cabrera, but they don't get the call. You know, a play like that is where you really appreciate Robinson Cano and his arm strength. He makes that play all the time and has a lot more on it than Iwamura had on that throw.
Well, Culbreth looked like he had a rough time with the call on Crawford getting picked off. And the replay would show that he missed that one. So Madden, all the frustration of this losing streak and dropping out of the playoff picture a year after going to the World Series, starting to seep out of him. Culbreth let him have his say. Maybe because he knew he was wrong. Sometimes umpires make the wrong call and they realize it. And they'll let the manager have a little more leeway to a point. Well, Matsui will pinch hit for Jerry Hairston.
Now Joe Madden has a decision. He has Randy Choate ready in the bullpen. Left-hander throws him down under. See if Joe Madden makes a move.
And he does. Why have Choate warming if you're not going to bring him in to face the lefty? Matsui does not have much problems with lefties, but this is a better matchup for Madden than Cormier against Matsui. As a pinch hitter this year, Matsui's hitting .368. So Madden will call on Randy Choate. Choate against Matsui. Yankees up 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Come on back. Time to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by Chase. Now with over 14,000 ATMs nationwide, Chase what matters. First game of doubleheader, 11-9, Texas over the Indians. Toronto 6 and Minnesota 3, bottom of the 7th. Boston all over Baltimore in the bottom of the 7th. And Detroit 3-2 over KC in the top of the 5th. That's the AL. Let's look at the NL. 9-4 Cubs over the Pirates, bottom of the 7th. Philadelphia leads Washington now 5-3, bottom of the 8th. Marlins 4 and the Mets 2. That's in the top of the 7th inning. And Atlanta leading Houston 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Right here in New York City, Yankees lead the Rays 2-1. 2 outs, 1 on, and the pinch hitter Matsui against the left-hander Randy Choate. Pinch hitting for Hairston, who was 0 for 2, a ground ball to third and a fly ball to left. And a strike.
Ex-Yankee Randy Choate maybe has found a home here in Tampa. He ranks 2nd in the American League in appearances since his May 25th promotion from the minor leagues. 23 hits and 26 2/3. Lefty specialist.
Lefties hit 186 against him. Righties hit 308.
Well, you can see why he's tough. He has a different delivery down underneath, has a sweeping slider. Also has some good movement in on the left-handers if he chooses to go with the fastball in there. Hideki has 1 at bat off of Randy Choate as a base hit.
Runner goes, but Matsui swings and misses, so Choate comes in and does his job. For the Yankees in the 7th, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the 8th inning. Yankees lead 2-1. Thank you, Russ, here in the booth. Yankees are leading 2-1 as Phil Hughes comes on. Look at the press box area here at the new Yankee Stadium and look at Phil Hughes' season in relief. That's a pretty impressive ERA, John, 1.08. He has become automatic out there.
22 hits and 41 2/3, and it's really changed the Yankees season since he's gone to the bullpen, and more specifically locking down that 8th inning. And you saw how Joe Girardi managed the 7th inning, using 4 pitchers in 1 inning, knowing that you got Phil Hughes for the 8th, a healthy Mariano Rivera for the 9th.
Ramiro Pena takes over at shortstop. Remember, Matsui pinch hit for the shortstop, Jerry Hairston Jr. It'll be the top of the order for Hughes. Bartlett, Crawford, and Longoria, 3 very tough hitters. 3 all-stars. And Hughes deals. That one's driven to left field, deep. And that ball is gone. A tie game. 1 pitch, Bartlett deposits it in the seats and left, and it's 2-2.
Phil Hughes has been so good. He threw a first pitch fastball, and Jason Bartlett jumped all over it, having a career year in Tampa offensively, hitting over .330. Now this is his 13th home run of the year. A short, powerful swing for the Rays shortstop ties this ball game up in the 8th inning.
Pitch to Crawford, who's upstairs. That's the first home run that Hughes has allowed since June 10th. Bartlett's 13th of the year. Count 1-1. He's been so automatic that there's almost a sense of shock in the ballpark.
We've seen Phil Hughes come right at hitters with that fastball. You give Bartlett a little bit of credit, able to catch up with it. Hit a home run to tie this ball game up, but Phil Hughes has been so aggressive coming out of the bullpen. You can't fault him for going right out to shortstop with a first pitch fastball.
That is the first time that Hughes has blown the lead as a reliever. First blown save.
Once you get over the shock, you got to take care of Carl Crawford here. 55 stolen bases on the year.
And that's dunked into center field for a base hit. So Crawford's 3rd hit of the night. And let's see if he runs. Time for the in-game box score for the Rays, brought to you by Hyundai. Ready for good news? Get Hyundai Assurance and up to $5 grand cash back on select models now. Crawford just picked up his 3rd hit. Had a triple in the 1st inning, a home run by Bartlett, a home run by Longoria. That's the scoring for the Rays. Ben Zobrist had a hit.
Well, Phil Hughes had Carl Crawford on base last night or in yesterday's ball game. Tony Pena called the pitch out. Carl Crawford ran. He was thrown out by Jorge Posada. Pretty much the same situation here. Facing another dangerous hitter, Evan Longoria hit his 30th home run early on. Crawford likes to run early. Expect a couple of throw-overs.
Count 1-0. Now the Yankees have it in their book that he runs on the 1st or 2nd pitch. So first pitch was a ball. Would the Yankees gamble and pitch out here on 1-0?
You'd hate to think that Carl Crawford would shut down the running game. Talked about he's got 55 stolen bases, but he's been thrown out on a pitch out in yesterday's ball game. Been picked off earlier in this ball game, and it looks like a little slide step from Phil Hughes on this delivery. Carl Crawford looks a little tentative at first base. A lot going through his mind. Pitch outs, throw overs, slide steps.
You recall many 2-0 pitch outs, John?
No, no. Especially, you know, you got a dangerous hitter here in Evan Longoria. You know, this is a tough spot for Phil Hughes.
High pop up, shallow right. Cano out. Swisher in. 1 out.
The big out to a powerful hitter, especially heading the count 2-0. Longoria got a fastball. Phil Hughes just beat him with it. Challenged them away, got the pop up to right field. Right down the middle. You can see the frustration.
Here's Zobrist.
You can see that pitch out again. First pitch here. Same situation in yesterday's game. Threw over and then pitched out.
Do you think the Yankees could have gotten in Crawford's head and scared him away from the stolen base?
I'm sure that's the idea with Tony Pena. I mean, a lot of times in a series, when you call a pitch out early in a series, it puts that thought into a base runner's mind that you're going to do it again. Carl Crawford looks like he's on his heels. This was yesterday, same combination. Phil Hughes pitch out, strong throw from Posada. Cano, a nice quick tag. Posada loved it.
Let's see if they can turn 2. There's one. On to first, it's a double play. But the Rays tie the score. A home run by Jason Bartlett, but this sleekly turn 4-6-3 ends the 8th. We go to the bottom of the inning tied at 2.
Number 2.
Throw it out.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The game is tied at 2. Derek Jeter will lead off. It'll be Jeter, Damon, and Teixeira. against Randy Choate. So they leave in the sidewinding left-hander to deal with Jeter and get through him and then go to Damon. And there's a strike to Jeter, and Jeter does not like that call. Jeter 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts.
Well, you expect the fastball to move away from Randy Choate, but it was a four-seamer on the inside corner. That's the one Derek was expecting right there, that little sinker that's going to move away from him.
Now Jeter's not out of hitting 11 at-bats in this series, and if he wasn't chasing Lou Gehrig, we wouldn't give it a thought. We'd say, well, it's a very rare slump for a guy hitting .330. But now the microscope is on him, and every at-bat is going to be dissected, so it seems bigger. The 1-1. And the count 2-1. Tino Martinez, one of Derek's closest buddies, looks on from one of the suites here at the stadium. Then Mariano Rivera came up through the ranks with Jeter, warming up. And the count 2-2.
Randy Choate just coming right at Derek Jeter. You see Navarro setting up inside. It ends up down and away. Derek looked like he wanted to pull that fastball. We're so used to seeing him go the other way. Like he took a shot there to drive one to left field. Didn't work out.
This is Derek Jeter's first hit in his big league career, and who's he standing next to? Tino Martinez. And now Tino watches from on high. The 2-2. And the pitch. Count 3-2. Jeter wants to get on base here. That puts the winning run on, or the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th. The top of the order did the job for the Rays in the top of the inning. Now is the top of the order for the Yankees. Jeter, Damon, Teixeira. 8th pitch coming up. 3-2. Still 3-2. Just got a piece to stay alive.
A little grin on Derek's face. It looks like he's trying to figure out this at bat, and especially the fastball from Choate. Got a little movement down and away, a little cut in. Can't seem to put his A swing on it.
That's it.
3-2. Lined into right field. And right there is Kapler for the first out. So Derek's bid for a hit. It stays up there too long, and Kapler runs it down.
Well, good at bat. He finally got his A swing on the fastball. Hits it hard, but right at Gabe Kapler in right field. Check out the reaction of Tino Martinez. Likes the line drive. Not that time.
There's Johnny Damon. Count 0-1. Damon's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And a drag bunt. It is a beauty. Got him. Oh, what a play by Choate. No other way to make that play, and he did it to just get Damon.
Well, Johnny Damon, it's a perfect bunt right off the barrel. You got to believe this is a base hit by Randy Choate. Does a nice job not giving up on the play, gets to it with his glove, and then in one motion flips over to Ibar and gets Johnny Damon by a half a step. An outstanding play by Randy Choate. Didn't think he had any chance to make that play. Perfect technique. You want to get it by the pitcher. Once you do that, you feel good about your chances. What a play.
That's about as good a play as you'll ever see a pitcher make. And the key, John, you mentioned it, was not giving up because the ball was past him.
Yeah, a lot of pitchers just say, you know what, that's by me. I don't have a chance. You give your second baseman the play. Randy Choate, give him credit, did not give up. Very athletic play to finish it off with the glove. The little flip to Willie Ibar. In one motion, ball in the glove, you flip it over there, and it worked out. Great play.
There's Mark Teixeira. Trainer came out to check on Choate. He says he's okay. Bottom of the 8th, 2-2 game. And the count 1-0. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. The Rays have out-hit the Yankees 8-4, but the game is tied at 2. Teixeira with 2 home runs yesterday. Trails Carlos Pena, who shut down for the season by 4 home runs for the American League lead.
Mark hit those 2 home runs yesterday, hitting left-handed. All of his at-bats tonight have been hitting right-handed. Had a base hit against David Price his last at-bat.
Count 3-1. Alex Rodriguez on deck. Three-1. Chop towards second. Right there is Iwamura. And Randy Choate works a 1-2-3 8th inning. Well, the Yankees are going to win tonight. It'll be their 13th walk-off win of the year. Mariano Rivera will come on to pitch the 9th in a 2-2 tie.
Mariano Rivera.
New York Yankees baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today. Verizon Fios, over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios, this is big. And by your local Lexus dealer. $45,350 here at the stadium as Mariano Rivera will come on. Tie game, 9th inning at home. You bring in your closer, and that's what the Yankees do. 1.75 ERA, 63 strikeouts, and 56 and 2/3 innings. It'll be Burrell, Kapler, and Navarro against Rivera. In Mariano's last 30 games, he's allowed 1 run, a 0.30 ERA.
Mariano worked that first game yesterday, testing that groin, no problem. Said he was a little tentative with the first batter. After that, everything fell into place nicely.
And a strike. Count 1-2.
Mariano trying to tie Pat Burrell up inside. 3 pitches in a row on the inner half. Trying not to let him get extended. Only has 13 home runs on the year, but he has some power, can run into one. See if Mariano goes up in the zone here. High fastball.
Goes outside off the end of the bat. Teixeira touches first, 1 away. Tonight after the game, second baseman Robinson Cano reveals his most embarrassing moment with the Yankees, and it happened off the field. Tonight on the Verizon Fios game wrap-up after the game on My 9 News. With that ground ball, Burrell's now 0 for 7 lifetime against Rivera. And here's Kapler. He pinch hit for Zahn in the 7th. Grounded into a fielder's choice. Count 1-0. Strike.
This most importantly after yesterday with Mariano, said the groin not a problem, felt 100% healthy. Good news for the Yankees. Going to watch that closely the rest of the way, make sure that he's ready to go.
Strike on the inside corner. Rivera really pitching right now.
Really doing a nice job on the right-handers, going inside and mixing it up, sinking fastballs, cut fastballs. Kapler has not seen anything on the outer half of the plate so far.
And the 2-2. High pop-up. Ramiro Pena on the outfield grass. 2 outs. And here's Navarro. Big healthy cut 0-1. Pinch hit in the 7th, grounded out. Navarro 1 for 6 against Rivera. Dan Wheeler warms for the Rays. Strike. And the 0-2. He struck him out. An impressive 1-2-3 inning from Mariano Rivera. Yankees have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th. The question is, who wants pie? Pies galore. 12 walk-off wins for the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez will lead off the bottom of the inning. Time for the Yankees in-game box score, brought to you by Hyundai. Ready for good news? Get Hyundai Assurance and up to $5,000 cash back on select models now. Not many hits in there. Mark Teixeira has one. Alex Rodriguez an RBI single. Nick Swisher a long home run. And Robinson Cano picked up an infield single. Dan Wheeler is a new pitcher for the Rays. Their 4th pitcher, David Price, started. Then Cormier, Choate, now Wheeler. And Alex Rodriguez 1 for 3 tonight. And Alex has 9 career walk-off home runs, 6 as a Yankee and 2 this season. Those are Wheeler's numbers. Yankees at home, 47-20, best record in baseball, and 12 of the 47 have been won in their last at bat. 12 walk-off wins. Count 1-0.
Well, you feel good about Alex Rodriguez, the way he has been swinging. 12 of his 24 home runs have either tied a game or given the Yankees the lead. Had 3 hits yesterday. The base hit tonight off of David Price on a good fastball inside. The swing right now real short and quick.
The 1-0. There's a strike. A-Rod, Swisher, and Posada here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Swisher on deck. And the 1-1. Chased a pitch outside and the count 1-2.
Yeah, Alex Rodriguez pulled off a slider here. Up in the zone, finishes down and away off. Looked like he was thinking about winning this ball game on one swing.
And the 1-2. Hot shot to short. Gobbled up by Bartlett. And there's one away here in the bottom of the ninth. And that's going to bring up Nick Swisher in the second inning. Swisher hit just his 4th home run here at Yankee Stadium this year. He has 25 overall. Let's take a look at this blast.
One of the few hitters that got ahead in the count off of David Price. A 2-0 fastball, and Nick Swisher drilled it to left field. Home run number 25.
This time batting from the left side. And the pitch is high from Wheeler, 1-0. That one's driven deep to right field. Going back, Kepler looking up. See ya! A walk-off home run for Nick Swisher. Lucky 13 for the Yankees. Another pie is on order, and the Yankees win 3-2.
The Yankees only had 5 hits tonight. Nick Swisher had 2 of those. Home runs number 25, and this one, home run number 26. The game winner for Nick Swisher. Did a good job all night getting ahead in the count. And he got a 1-0 fastball from Dan Wheeler. The only question, did it have enough height? And it just gets out of here. Sits on that back leg a little bit. Game-winning home run for Nick Swisher, home run number 26 on the year.
Now, Derek Jeter didn't get any hits, but as he said, hey, we got to win. How can I complain? So Nick Swisher has found that Bronx home run stroke as the Yankees do it again. And Nick Swisher has already gotten his pie. A.J. Burnett does it and gives him the full pie treatment. Hair, chin, face, and it's become a good habit in the Bronx.
It's all over. Well, AJ, you know, I mean, that's his gig. And I tell you what, you know, just to get a pie tonight was a great feeling, no doubt.
What a performance.
Absolutely. I said that earlier. You know, you got to really got to tip your hat for Chad, you know, coming over here and really doing his thing. So it's just been an absolute blast. Just got to keep things rolling and just have some fun doing it. I can't help it. It feels good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, John, let's rock out to you.
All right.
Well, Nick Swisher rounding third for his second career walk-off home run. The helmet goes up. They fight for it. He gets to home plate, and the Yankees win the game 3-2. 13 walk-off wins this year, and another pie courtesy of A.J. Burnett. It's time now for the drive of the game by your Tri-State Ford dealer. And what is that drive of the game, John?
Well, your Ford drive of the game just happened. Nick Swisher, number 26 on the year. Will it have enough? It does. Your game winner is your drive of the game.
And the Yankees win this one in the bottom of the ninth inning, 3-2. 3-5-0 for the Yanks, 2-8-0 for the Rays. The first team to 90 wins. And they're 40 games over 500. 2-2 for Rivera. He gets the win. Wheeler goes to loss. 4-4. Time of the game under 3 hours. Swisher with 2 home runs. His 4th and 5th at the stadium. And the Yankees' 13th walk-off win of the year. Derek Jeter, just a spectator with that swing. Will it have enough? Oh, yes, it has enough. Another exciting finish here at Yankee Stadium. And A.J. Burnett delivers the pie. They've done it again. The Yankees with a walk-off victory here in the Bronx.